I love collecting different sorts of paper, and I've got a whole pile of them. I'm going to start by gluing down different papers, rice paper, tissue paper, from old school books, all sorts of different paper. And I'm using a golden soft gel gloss as a glue because some of the papers are slightly heavier and need a little stronger glue to glue them down. I'm putting the bits of paper just any old place. I'm sort of working with my instincts. The most important thing is that there are no air bubbles underneath and that everything is glued down properly. Now I'm actually putting down a golden acrylic ground for pastels, which is almost transparent and has got a grainy surface, which is really great for drawing on. I'm going to sketch up a picture of my daughter, Gabriella, with an Inktense pen, and start by sketching it out. You can actually feel the ground underneath, and it's grabbing the pencil. It's really nice to work on, sort of sandpapery feeling. This first sketch isn't always completely right proportion-wise, but I normally start to sort of change that a little later on in the painting when I can see what's wrong and what's right. Right, I'm going to start by painting her now, and I'm using golden heavy body acrylics, which are slightly thicker in consistency, and they dry quickly. My palette today is titanium white, Naples yellow, Payne's grey, permanent maroon, Nicolazo yellow and burnt umber. I'm mixing together a bit of Naples yellow and titanium white, and I'm starting with the hair. My daughter's very blonde, so that's a good mixture. Since the background by the face is a bit darker, I'm mixing Payne's grey and a bit of permanent maroon. Lots of water. And suddenly you can see that her profile is coming out of the paper. Adding a bit of white here to the mixture. Now I'm mixing the skin colour, which is permanent maroon, Nicolazo yellow, titanium white, and a little bit of Payne's grey, just to dull it down slightly. I actually don't want to cover all the bits of paper underneath, because I think it's quite interesting when you can still see them here and there. Now I've taken a little bit of white in the same mixture to paint the light parts of her face. Right, but for the hair I'm using burnt umber and Payne's grey. Trying to keep the same colours the whole time so that there's a harmony in the picture. Now a few of the in-between tones, these sort of middle tones. Now you can look a bit closer. I've decided to dry it now. You can see the details here. I noticed that I needed to change the back of her hair where it's growing at the back, and she needed more hair really for the sake of balance. So I'm lowering it slightly, and then I'm pushing her bun back slightly so that you can see I'm filling in the blouse as well with the same colour as is in the hair. Now I'm going back to the details in the face. The light that's falling on her forehead, her nose, her cheeks, her mouth, even her chin. And now I've actually mixed permanent maroon and Nicolazo yellow and a little bit of Payne's grey because her cheekbone is in shadow. And so I want to bring that out. And then a little bit of burnt umber in the shadow around the ear and behind the ear. Some more details around the eyes and the nose. Now I'm going to use an Inktense pencil in a sort of terracotta colour, just to do a few details. I like the effect of drawing on top of the painting, so you can see the pencil strokes. And some eyelashes in a slightly darker colour. Just lighten it up slightly, giving you a bit of a turned up nose there. And I'm sort of working around her profile in the background using background colour, just to really change small areas that need changing. And I really wanted more contrast between her and the background, so I'm lightening up the background a little bit. More in the hair, a few more shadows. Using the same colours again, Payne's grey and a little bit of burnt umber. And then a little bit more light in the hair. She's very blonde, as I say, and her hair picks up the light above her forehead. A little working on the ear there. And finally her earring. These are the last details. And a few stray hairs that are growing as well. Eyelids, nose again, end of the cheek, and her mouth. Brings out the light. I'm just darkening slightly the background down in the bottom half of the page so that there's more balance. And I decided that I wanted to have a pattern on her blouse, so I'm using a plastic mat and a makeup sponge just to get the colour through. And this is just to get an effect. These plastic mats are really useful to get different patterns. There are all different kinds of patterns you can get. And here we have it finished. There's a few close-ups here so you can see the details of the hair. You can see the sheet music that's underneath coming through, and then even these effects at the top. And it almost, if you water down acrylic, it looks like watercolour. It has the same effects. And there we have the blouse and finished picture. Yep, so that's it.